folks, on your TV in Texas and Louisiana. We're on the smartmoneyculture.tv network. We'll bring you the latest, the greatest. And look at this crypto pump, man.
Oh, it's such a thing of beauty, isn't it? The
It is.
crypto pump, it's pumping, it's pumping. I
So
would play the it's pumping song, but we just have to
it's
sing it ourselves because these every time I do it, YouTube or whoever gets mad at us. You're playing copyright stuff. Like, can't we just have a little fun here? It's pumping. It's pumping.
you're playing a YouTube video on a YouTube stream.
I mean, come on. You can't. Yeah, exactly. So, pretty interesting. It's really crazy. I mean, I'll tell you what, David. Since the beginning, and I know you always say that you knew it was going to $1 million, and all this stuff. But I can tell you, for me, buying the Bitcoins back in the day for $70, I got a bunch at 90. I'll tell you that. And I would have never thought. I mean, even this price, it is hard. It is hard to get your head around the fact that we're nearly at all-time highs, and probably we're not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess back then maybe I didn't know, but I would say towards the end of 2012, 2013, I started to realize that this programming is really gonna be the epitome of the top Dow and these top $100,000 stocks and multi-million-dollar stocks. I started to see that.
Yeah. Well, actually, the first time you went to 1,200, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. We have a market cap.
400, I was already over 4x'd, and I was like, okay, this is great. It's overpriced. It's overpriced. It was a long time ago. And then it went to 1,200, and I said, oh, wow. Okay. But then it came all the way back down. And it was in there in the 200 range. I think it went down to 180 or something like that. Anyway, that's crypto for you. And I'll tell you what, we have big money in the space now. Just massive money coming in. You probably saw Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor, the great Michael Saylor, is buying more. Michael Saylor is going to buy more. He's putting together the investors are going to buy 600,000 more, $600 million worth of more Bitcoin.
Yeah, the overall market cap of Bitcoin, your profit gains are in like 100 million%.
It's like, actually, like, do the math. It's mind-boggling. It's like hundreds of millions.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's pretty fun stuff. As well, you have all of these, all of the new stuff, all of the new tech that comes out. Of course, we have our good friends with Ship with Hat, which is I think probably set up for a pretty nice movement here. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but one of our favorites as well. And then just like these AI projects that are coming on. I mean, just super. That was actually one of always the coolest things about this space was the tech, right?
The tech. Absolutely. All these companies working on different aspects of technology, whether it's AI, identity, or transactions, all these different things, immutability or mutability. There's a use case for each situation.
There's use cases for each situation. I'm just putting out this post. The great Michael Saylor buying another $600 million of Bitcoin.
He is buying high.
He likes to buy high.
He does. He likes to tell everybody he's buying high because it's going higher.
That's exactly his move. He's buying high because it's going higher. And then if he continuously tells everyone that that's the move, then they get used to it. Michael Seller's always going to buy high, and it's a psychological thing. I've actually, to be totally clear, I've learned a lot from it. Yeah, because man, that's how you pump a coin right there. That's how you do it. Tell everyone you're buying high. You're going to be buying high. You're going to be buying the top for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You're always going to buy the top. and then you see what happens there. So a lot of stuff going on as well. So gold is continuing to climb. Bitcoin, of course, continuing to climb. I think that we could quite possibly see. I thought maybe that we would see the top of Bitcoin. I thought we were going to go to all new all-time highs.
Well, it's right there. It's flirting with it.
It's flirting. It is definitely flirting.
Michael Saylor might push it over the edge here. I think he has the capabilities to do it.
There's no doubt about that. This 600 million, it definitely might push it over. It really is something else. Let me just pull up that chart here. It started beeping at me yesterday. Remember that? Let me just see here. This thing is really something of beauty here. Let me see here. Let's get on Bitcoin. There we go. Shit, we're fat. Here we go. With the move there. Okay. Bitcoin, the mighty Bitcoin. 66,787. 748. I mean, Bitcoin is it is digital gold. It's actually probably even better than gold. You can travel with millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars worth of this asset in nothing but your brain.
Or thousands of worthless NFTs, art that nobody will confiscate.
Well, now, that's in a bull market, those things are worth a lot of money. Not in the bear market. The bear market, you do not sell art. But in a bull market, this is worth a lot of money.
No, I love the NFTs.
Of course you do. 66,731. I'm just putting together my post here. What a thing of beauty here. 66,725. Bitcoin. The great, the mighty Bitcoin. The mighty Bitcoin trading at 66, near all-time highs. 66,725.
Yeah, man.
It's yeah, I mean, the thing that, and if you're thinking about getting into Bitcoin, if you don't have any exposure to Bitcoin, it is of course, we're up 2.5% again today. It always is scary to buy the top, right? Buying the top is always scary. But the fact of the matter is that this is a very limited asset.
Yeah.
Very limited.
So you hold it and you keep holding it until you're in the green.
Well, that was actually always one of the things that got me over the hump in the early days with a lot of alts is I would just keep buying them. And then you dollar cost average in, and you end up with a lot. Luna, for example, which is now Luna.
And you can
C.
use it. Send your friends money. You can send the coins around. It's good to have. It's another bank account in a sense.
Well, and that's the other thing. We live in times that are so crazy that it might be hard to hold on to certain things. I mean, they freeze your bank accounts. They freeze. They can do all kinds of things, and they can't freeze your Bitcoin.
Yes, as long as you put it on your non-custodial wallet.
Well, yeah, you put it on your non-custodial wallet. Of course, it's always good too if you take some extra steps to make sure that it's not totally attached to you. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about that in private. Stuff like that. So Trump is really on a roll here. Let's get back here. Well, actually, let me just talk a little bit more about these markets. We're of course going to have Matt join us in a second here. He's going to talk more about him, so I won't get too much into him. But Ethereum, look at this. Ethereum is just appearing to be unstoppable. Up again, over 6% at 37.17. Ethereum really making a move here. One of, I remember back in the day, David, we had Ethereum was like we were all paying each other in Ethereum. And that was around really the $600 price. We had Ethereum, and a lot of developers because of that initial move from where it was below $100 to $600 made so many millionaires.
Yeah.
And so that, you have an asset that, went from almost nothing to a lot. And you're much more willing to spend it. And that is one of the ways that the space goes absolutely nuts. Because you have people and maybe they have $100,000, but then all of a sudden that $100,000 is $700,000.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And they want to make sure that they X that money some more. And we have that happening, of course, on the Solana network as well. It's really pumping with these types of different things. Let me see. Ethereum looking unstoppable. Currently trading at 37.20. Boom. Ethereum, really, they enabled so many different tokens to build on it. From our friend Pray For Us today, it's primary day, and Steve Garvey is running against Adam Schiff. Last I read, Steve was just barely ahead of Adam. Don't worry, Adam has the magic electronic machines.
Oh yes, yes they do.
Those guys, they say it's all a show. Well, I hate to say it, but it seems like a big show to me. Seems like a big show. We'll talk more actually about Trump on the latter end of the show. We are coming off a commercial break here on Smart Money Culture TV. We're going to bring on the great Matt Dixon. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello, good morning. Oh, good, thank you. Got some great stuff for you today, I think.
Amazing.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet you do. It's 14:30 in the broadcast. Matt Dixon's joining us.
Yeah, I'm going to share straight away and just show you some of the things I've been looking at. Just basically looking at all of the assets through the lens of a couple of really good indicators because we've been talking the past few days, and I trust you can see my screen, by the way.
Oh, what a thing of beauty that is.
Yeah, so we've been talking the past few days about potential warning signs flashing that we may be nearing the top of the market, and people just really don't know quite when to get in and when to get out. And although I don't place a great deal of strength on technical analysis indicators, there's one or two that I do use that are really good. I mean, for example, parabolic SARS is one that I use, and we're also using one today, which is called the Guppy multiple moving average indicator. So this is really good. And I started with gold. I was looking at gold again, just looking at what kind of hedge it is against inflation, because I know that you've been talking a lot about gold and precious metals recently. And it is definitely a good hedge against inflation. It's also, I think, a really good hedge, which is not such a good thing, against perceived inflation or the threat of inflation, because gold has really pumped when they print money. So when they printed money back in 2008, gold really pumped back then, after the crisis, after the financial crisis, and they're really printing money to get themselves out of a hole. Gold really pumped, and then it pumped again during COVID. And it's pumping at the moment because there is a real threat of inflation. But again, people don't know if people are already in the trade. So for example, this indicator, following this sell signal, we had a buy signal. So, quite a way back, and depends on what time scale you look at. I'm just looking at the 4-hour chart here, and it's a very simple, I've got a couple of indicators combined on here. Very simple buy and sell, very clearly shown there. And then this blue area, green area, I'm not colorblind. When we've got this green area, it's basically showing a buy, and when it's in the red area, it's showing a sell. And it showed, quite some time ago that there was a buy, and the interesting thing is there's no sell indication as yet. So that's an indication that maybe the market hasn't quite turned yet. I mean, it doesn't move, it doesn't tell you in advance of the move, but it tells you early on in the move. There are very few leading indicators. Divergences are one of those few leading indicators, but again, they're not nothing is 100% accurate. So this is still a lagging indicator, but it's actually a very good one of the better ones to identify a trend in the very early stages. So for example, we saw that here, and we can look at it on any asset at all. So at the moment, as I say, gold has been really pumping, and at the moment, there's no indication that that pump is over. So we've got the threat of inflation at the moment. They are not lowering interest rates as yet, so inflation could potentially still run away. And we still do have elevated inflation way above the target rate. And so it's a good environment, a good background for gold to be appreciating, which it is doing. And we can even look at the S&P 500. And this is the chart I've been looking at. I've just added the indicators to it, but we've been looking at this for days or even maybe weeks now. Basically within this kind of roughly within a parallel channel, kind of, it's not precise. But again, this indicator is showing very nicely certainly the buy areas. And one way I like to use this is if you're in an upward channel, and clearly this is an upward channel, this parallel channel is definitely pointing to the upside. I would be looking for buy areas when we reach the bottom of the channel. And that's again where this indicator is coming quite useful when we get to the bottom. So sometimes I would ignore unless we are near the bottom of the channel. So you can combine different indicators to get better value out of them. So you can see this has been really good. And that's showing at the moment, and again, if I really expand that out, you'll notice that when the candles are in red, it's basically showing that we're in a sell phase. And when they're in green, we're in a buy phase. And you can see we're still in the green buy phase. And you can see this green area shaded, showing that we're still in the buy phase, even though the S&P has come down a little bit from that high, it's still currently in a buy phase. So when we're looking to take profits in the market, I wouldn't be taking a profit just yet because we're still in the buy phase, as though we may get another push up. But it works on anything. So if you look at dollar index, this is really, really good. So again, we had a really good parallel channel, and I'll just show that one there. Really, really good parallel channel there. And again, we can see looking at the dollar. So it works on virtually anything, any liquid asset. And so here again, we can see the buy phase all in green, and then the red phase there, and the sell area. And then if I just open that out where we are at the moment, you can see we entered and just coincidentally at the bottom of the channel, which again is a good buy area for me. And then we got a buy signal. It's still holding the buy signal at the moment. So it's looking right now as though possibly dollar index might head a bit higher. And we've got some economic figures coming out of the US, important figures, which might give us some direction there. We just flipped to Bitcoin, and that has been absolutely amazing. So again, with Bitcoin, you can see the dotted red line there, which is the all-time high. In fact, I might even just scroll out just to show us. I'd have to scroll out a long way probably. But anyway, it's quite useful. What's interesting about this is when the price is choppy, you get lots of reversal signals. But when you get it does identify a long trend, and this is why you need to use it in conjunction with other signals, for example, to tell you when the market is trending. So it caught this final fifth wave right at the beginning. So we got the fourth wave down, which you can see it was all sell signal from there in red. And right at the beginning, it gave us a buy signal, and it's still currently holding that buy signal because nothing has changed. We haven't got another sell signal in yet. Yes, there have been some shaded areas there with a slight red shade when the market's consolidating, but there's no actual sell signal come in. So the signals are actually indicated by either a buy or a sell. So we're still in a buy phase at the moment, and there's nothing yet to tell us that the market's yet changed. So from this, I would expect that most likely, because we're still very much in the green area and there's no sell signal come in yet, I would say it's probably a little bit early to sell. If we do get a sell signal like this, then maybe we should sell. But right now, we could have caught all of this move from 40,000, just over 40,000, all the way up to 66,800 right now. You could have held that trade all the way up just based on this indicator alone. So it is a really powerful indicator. And then looking at Ethereum, once again, you can see the buy signal on Ethereum right from 2000, 2300-ish to where we are now, 2003 to 3007. That's massive. And if you open this out, it's constant. That buy has stayed constant all the way through. There's been no signal to close the trade as yet. All those candles are green, and it's all with the shaded green, just indicating we're still in that upward trend. So there's no indication yet to close the trade. But as I said, the past few days, there's some warning signs out there just to keep you on your toes, just to be ready. So I'm not saying close your trades. It could go, we don't know how far it will go. This indicator will probably help to tell you, when you might want to take your profit. We'll just look at probably three big tokens that people trade. Here is XRP. It's been a really choppy one, really difficult. And one of those with all these big spikes that we see, it's really difficult to know whether to hold your trade or not. Well,
those liquidation wicks, that's what those are. Those are liquidation wicks.
Yeah, and they always seem to happen on XRP.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll just tell you they will liquidate you, certainly, but it also, sometimes you might think, I should be going short when you see a big red candle. It would have been down here. Yeah. But yeah, this buy signal stayed constant.
You can also set some low buy orders, and if you're patient, XRP, I mean, it'll move all around sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that XRP one is good because it's been choppy, and especially for people who are nervous about a market, this would be really difficult to know when to buy, when to sell. And again, you could draw a channel on it, and obviously you'd use your buy indicator that's near the bottom of the channel. But we've got this green shaded area to tell you to hold on to your trade for the time being. So that looks really interesting. And then Litecoin has been an amazing one. Just look at the indication there. And if I move back, you can actually see within the triangle that we charted in previous shows, this triangle area, you can see at the bottom and top, the buy, sell. And again, this is the use or the value of using different indicators and tools. So I use this Elliott wave triangle, which is basically an A, B, C, D, E. And then following the E wave, you get what's called the thrust out of the triangle. And that's very clearly shown here. And the thrust even before we broke above the triangle, was shown here with a buy signal before we thrust out the triangle. And what normally happens is you thrust out of the triangle, you retest the triangle resistance, now comes support line here, which is exactly what happened, just spiked below, and then the price takes off in this thrust to the upside. So it looks as though the thrust isn't over yet, and we're still in the green. If I remove this, you'll see it clearer. If I remove the Fibonacci tool there, you'll see we're still very much in the green buy area. All these candles are green from the buy here, thrust out the triangle. So again, this looks like some kind of corrective move, slightly downward, sideways. So there's probably going to be another push to the upside. And based on this indicator, if you got in early, based on the indicator, you could have got in right here. This is the area you'd have got in, $72. And the price right now is $89. And it's looking as though we'll likely get at least one more push to the upside. And I think finally, unless you want to, I might just do Doge as well, or Doggy as you.
Oh man, up over 100% on the 7-day. I was just looking at it last night, 118%.
So we'll see what these indicators say there. So again, this is Solana. We got the sell, and then the buy signal came in, and you can see all the green shaded area showing to hold the buy still. And you can see you could have got in on this particular one. This was 100. But if you looked, I actually have found with this indicator, by the way, the more volatile the asset, it's better to look longer term. The less volatile assets, you look shorter term. So if we look longer term here on Solana, you can see, we'll look at where the buy was here. So this is looking on the daily. Here was the buy. There's not been a single sell signal. Even though it went shaded red, it's still holding the buy signal. There's no sell signal here. So the buy was signaled very early on at about $20, and the price right now is $131, and it's still holding the buy from this signal back here. So absolutely amazing. And then we'll probably finish with Doggy. And yeah, look at that. Again, a volatile asset. So
looks like Elon Musk to me. I think he just got a SpaceX payday.
Yeah, absolutely appropriate here to look at the daily. And yeah, just look at this. Again, we got the sell signal there where the price moved down a little bit. We got the buy signal, and we haven't had another signal all the way from where we were back here, where the buy signal came in. Even if you use it at the top of this candle, it came in at 6 cents, and the price now is 18 cents. So you're 3x on your trade just based on this indicator alone. So this can actually just help you with your trading, because it can be really tricky, as I say, to get in and out of a trade. You can look at indicators, you can look at fundamentals, you can look at everything, but it's just good to get a couple of simple indicators to sometimes give you that little bit extra to help you make those decisions. And maybe we should just see what oil's doing. So oil at the moment is it's a reasonably volatile asset. It's basically showing, it's holding a sell actually at the moment. So it was selling right up here, higher up. Even though the price has moved up, it's still actually holding a sell. So that's quite interesting. It's basically saying potentially oil's headed down, which would be probably indicative for the time being of a softening of the economic numbers. And maybe that's what we're to expect if oil is to continue down. But that means that there's, again, less upward pressure on inflation, which is kind of good for risk assets. So it does mean potentially we've got those risk assets like Bitcoin, Solana, Litecoin, all the rest of them potentially got a bit higher to go if we see a further softening of the economy and a further pushing out of, a further softening of rate hikes, basically, meaning we're not going to get a rate hike anytime soon. And that's how it looks right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get rate hikes, sorry. We're not even going to get a rate drop anytime soon. So it's because we're getting a softening of the economy. So they want to drop rates, but the problem is they've got inflation still. So it's a bit complicated because there are two counterbalances that whilst we've got high inflation, we can't lower rates, and yet they want to lower rates because the economy is softening. So this is the paradox they have at the moment. But I thought that's the daily on Bitcoin, by the way, again, showing the buy from here. It actually showed a buy signal, even if you show it at the top of this candle, the buy signal came at 27,900 on Bitcoin. So we're now at 69. So again,
So
an awful long way off the 3x.
And I know we talk about this on the Learn How to Trade course, learnhowtotrade.club. You can do that with discount code TradeSmart10. But how people can set up this this buy signal here on TradingView? How do you do that?
Well, I mean, basically, you're right. This isn't the only signal. There's multiple signals that I use, and we do go into all these signals on the Learn How to Trade course, because some are better than others, some are absolutely useless. And again, it's about the individual settings. So I wouldn't go into all the technicals here. So it's not just choosing the indicator. You actually have to use the particular settings on an indicator. So you can use, for example, like a moving average. This uses multiple moving averages, both short and long term. And it's just about the settings of those moving averages. And you have your own favorite settings, which I've chosen my own favorite settings. So I'd happily share that with people. But it does need to be a sort of one-to-one in-depth.
One-to-one in-depth. You can get that on on learnhowtotrade.club. We're running the banner right down here at the bottom. Learnhowtotrade.club. You can use the discount code TradeSmart10, get 10% off. Everybody, all the people watching the show, whether you're at home in Texas and Louisiana, or you're keying in from around the world on X or LinkedIn or YouTube or any of those.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the doubt out of trading. You see, trading is so much of an emotional game. We talked about fear and greed yesterday. And yes, we're in a situation of extreme greed at the moment, but that can actually continue for quite some time. And so you need something to help you make the decision when to buy, when to sell, when to take your profit, etc. And that's why it takes a whole range of indicators to help you make those right decisions. So I think that one's really powerful. It's pretty easy to use. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's very good. So it's pretty interesting, right? And so now stocks have not. I would think, and I don't know if it's that the different commodities are really sucking a lot of the money. I mean, you see gold, obviously gold, as we talked about at the top of the hour or at the top of your segment. Of course, Bitcoin is going parabolic. But I would think that the stocks would continue to go up too. I mean, the dollar is definitely sliding. Is it just because it's been at all-time highs for so long? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at the S&P. Again, I've stopped sharing right now, but the S&P has been in a buy phase. I mean, if we looked at it on a daily, the buy came in right down on this particular phase of the market, came right down at about 4,300 on the S&P. Bear in mind, we're now 5,100, so we're massively higher. What is that, 14% or something, is it? 14, 15% higher. So, and we're still holding the buy signal that was given back then at 4,200 or 4,300 on the market, somewhere around there. So yes, it's still holding the buy. Stocks you'd be expecting them to perform in the same way as other risk assets like Bitcoin and other cryptos. So yeah, they're very much aligned. So I look at those correlations. Really important what you're saying, how things are correlated.
Yeah, so I just was pulling up. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange slid kind of all overnight. It opened slightly down. It was down about 0.5%, and you can see really moved down. Now that's kind of a recoil. It has been on a bit of a run, I suppose. Look at the 5.
Yeah, it was a bit of a setback. The Dow finished down yesterday, didn't it? It finished down, I think, 97.
It did, and the futures are down slightly, but not much. In futures, sometimes when they come out like this, because that's a very slight down. I mean, that's like flat.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind you've got ISM Services figures out tonight from the US, and they're forecasting a slight softening. It will be quite important just to see where they are, because the services have been what's holding up the economy. They make up a much larger percentage than manufacturing. So the ISM Services is a very, very important figure to be watching out. So a slight softening to 53 is expected. That anything above 50 is still expansion, so that's still a good number, and shows the economy is still on track for the time being. But it'd be interesting if they miss the forecast to the downside, that would be, not such a good sign. And again, if they actually miss it to the upside, potentially it would be a sign the economy might be overheating a little bit and inflation still picking up. So a miss either side is not necessarily that good. Probably a miss slightly to the downside is what's expected, and it's probably what the market wants. The economy isn't running away, isn't getting overheated, but slight softening means they're not going to see any interest rate rises, and they're actually going to push out. They're not going to drop rates either in the near future. So, in general, it just means things Goldilocks zone really, that things are in pretty good shape. So for the time being, looks like stocks are going to continue. The only thing that can derail it is if something happens in the Middle East or in Russia, Ukraine, or something like that. So some unforeseen black swan. Right now, things are looking really rosy.
Yeah, it sure is looking really rosy. And yeah, I mean, obviously, some type of event like that could change things pretty quickly. I'm sure it would probably rebound quickly, but those type of events could really play into the psyche of everything going on.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you get things like that, you get massive panic in the market, massive sell-off, and then you get into the extreme fear section. When we looked at fear and greed yesterday, once you get into the extreme fear area, then that is the time to start looking at buying. And again, we'd use this indicator to indicate really where the buy. You'd be showing a sell as the market goes down, but again, you just need something to help you to tip you over the decision-making phase when the market's in the doldrums. No one wants to be buying right then, but an indicator like this tells you when the market has bottomed and when it's just beginning to rise again. So it can really help you, especially if you're not a professional trader. You need tools like this to make the decision making, to empower easier decision making.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, very good, my friend. Great analysis this morning. Everybody's been running around quite a bit. I have some calls with the network guys as well today and putting some things together. I think that I may be coming to Paris for Paris Blockchain Week. I don't know if you have any eyes on that. I have to bring the family actually to Paris later in the month, so I'm trying to tell my wife that I have to go to Paris Blockchain Week ahead of time.
Oh yeah, blockchain's a good excuse for that.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, excellent.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Matt.
Well, thank you. And again, it's been a pleasure. Sorry, I'm just looking through other assets. They're all just absolutely rocketing right now, but we will watch out carefully just to see if there's any reversals and, be first to share it on the show if it happens. But right now, things are looking really good.
Awesome.
The whales are flapping their fins.
The whales are flapping their fins. I know I haven't wanted to play that video. I've actually wanted to play that video. Have you seen that one, Matt, with the market?
No, but it sounds good. I mean, I got the picture in my mind already.
This is where, since we're talking about it, let me just see if I can pull it. If I can pull it up real quick and watch it, because you're gonna love this.
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar, the market. If I can pull it up quickly, I'll do it. Of course, the market pulls up so much stuff. Maybe I should look at it by Johnny Dollar. Johnny Dollar. Maybe that's what I should do. Johnny Dollar. This is like it's a piece that he did. Johnny. He spells it with 2 N's. Dollar. Oh yeah, this is worth the watch. This is old school Porter Bros here. Hold on, let me add this to the screen. We have been around the block. Add stage. Let's go back here to where
he's really made some valuable art, some unique,
very valuable art. Hold on here.
And he was early.
I'll go with this one. It's longer.
Yeah, this is the market.
And we are live in DuPont, Washington, D.C.,
We got a great townhouse here, a little meetup with everybody that's going to speak and participate in the Washington Elite Summit. It's totally awesome. So I have him and Johnny Dollar here. Some of this artwork's going to be on display at the Cambria Hotel on 11th and or on O and 9th. This is amazing piece. It's an amazing piece, Johnny. We listened to what he's about to tell you at the Miami Bitcoin Conference, and it was totally awesome, totally blown away. You got to come. He says, okay, I'm coming. He shows up with like 10 pieces of artwork, and we're so happy. So, Johnny, tell us a little bit about yourself, how people can get a hold of you and the work.
Well, they call me Johnny Dollar, and you can find me at johnnydollar.biz or at johnnydollar.biz Instagram. But yes, art is available. Also tokenized art. But outside of that, let's talk about this painting.
Tokenized art. You know, a lot of artists, they're the Bitcoin artists, and they're this, that. This guy's actually giving you a way to tokenize your art. It's his deal.
Yes, we'll talk about that later because sections of this painting have been tokenized, and you can own a piece of the digital. But to continue, this painting is called The Madness of Kravitz. And what I did was I painted a place called the Market. And in the market live the whales. The whales are rich. And when the whales splash their tails, they make the bulls start to run. So as these bulls start to run, these little minnows get caught in the stream. As more bulls start charging, the minnows start coming up. They're swimming up. Is it going down? No, just a bear trap. Because the bulls are fully charging. You can hear them thundering. As these fish start swimming upwards, they're reaching for the mythical moon. They're going for it. This one right here, he just thought to himself, man, I'm a genius. And he's going for it, looking at the moon. And just as he thought that, the bear steps in, smacks him down, brings him down. They start tumbling downward. But they're going back for the moon. Are they going to make it? No, it's just a bull trap because the bears are large and in charge. And they just start slamming them down. Stop. Losses have been triggered. There's just an avalanche, just cascading downward prices as these minnows just go right back down to the mouth of the whale. And you repeat.
Right? That's huge. So it'll be at the Cambria in about an hour, along with some of the other stuff. Johnny will be on stage next weekend and killing it, man. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for reminding me. Look forward to it.
There you go, Johnny, the great Johnny Dollar.
That was beautiful. Absolutely
Right?
loved it. Amazing. What a beautiful commentary goes with it as well, just to explain it all. Fantastic. Great piece of art, great commentary. Exactly the way the market works.
It's exactly the way the market works. And I think he sold that thing for a bunch of Ethereum. And Ethereum was like, whatever, $500 or something back then. So he retired. He went to Mexico. He's hiding out. I shouldn't tell where he is. Never mind. I think he's in Antigua or something. All right, Matt.
Yeah, lovely to see you guys. I'm heading off to another meeting, but thanks for having me and look forward to catch you soon.
You got it. We'll see you in the morning. Thank you, Matt.
Safe trading. Bye for now. Cheers.
So always fun, I reached out to Johnny Dollar a little bit ago, and yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm surfing.
Right. He's painting pictures of beautiful women. That was one of his goals as well.
Oh, was that one of his goals, David?
I don't know. Drinking coconuts, surfing, and hanging out with the ladies.
He was always a favorite of the ladies, that is for sure. The great Johnny Dollar. So he is a fixture at a lot of our early events. Artwork, really unbelievable artwork. If I had more time, I would pull some more of it up so we could. I mean,
he really hits the nail on the head with a lot of his artwork. And he made a book illustrating it and of all his paintings, and they're pretty deep. And yeah, they really hit the key points. Great illustrator. I mean, they are.
David, they're deep, he says. These are deep.
Well, they have quite the concept.
Yeah, they really do. Well, it's they do.
It's hard
They're
to
deep.
illustrate the ideas and the concepts that are going on. You can talk about them and elaborate on them, but to bring them to illustration, he's really did a great job of that.
You're actually right, David. I couldn't have actually said it better myself. I gave you a little bit of a hard time, but they are deep. They're deep. There's no other way to say it. Speaking of deep, we have of course quite a bit going on here. Our good friends, and I'm waiting for the minute here. Please regenerate. Let's see here. Our good friends over here at Shibwith Hat. Our good friends at Shibwith Hat are really they're making moves. They are making moves. They're holding their 10 million market cap up over 300% yesterday. And just a slight little teeny pullback. I think probably we will be eating that in short order. Look at this. On the 7-day, up 1,142%.
Wow.
This is a fun meme coin. This is a fun meme coin.
Sometimes you think you catch it on Ethereum or Bitcoin, but then you realize you could have made it more on something else.
Could have made more. It has been a lot of fun already with these guys. Let's see here at 46, putting out my post here, and then I'm going to go over to their website. They do have some ambitious plans that they're putting out here. Boom. All right, there we go. Now I wanted to as well go to their website. Here we go. A 10 million market cap obviously is pretty small market cap, but it is as well considerable. You can trade them on Bitmart, but also this Raydium, which I just got introduced to. The Raydium is fun. The Raydium is a fun site.
Are you playing something?
Oh, David, you gotta tell me I'm on the wrong tab. Hold on, let me start my video again. Here we go.
In the Shibwith. Introducing the Shibwith Hat coin. Shibwith Hat launched on Solana blockchain, and it's officially the Dog with Hat killer. Our mission is to become the #1 community coin in Web3. Don't miss your chance to be part of this next big thing in meme tokens. Invest in the Shibwith Hat token today and join the revolution.
Join the revolution. Now, as we talked about a bit, this Solana blockchain is really it's really pumping. Let me just pull that up here real quick. Let me go back to this tab here. Boom. Let me look at Solana. Solana is really making moves here. Up from $11 over 130. This 130 is kind of turning into a psychological marker here because it has there's a lot of resistance, and when there's a lot of resistance and it stays there, then sometimes that turns into support. Historically, that's how those things work. So either way, even over 100 is massive, just massive gains. And those people that bought Solana at 10, 20, 30, $40, now they have money to put into these other ecosystem parts. Now look at this. We have 24-hour volume of 8 million. 24 of 8 million, almost 10 million over the past 24 hours. And here's what's interesting about this one too, David. 22,000 holders.
That's huge. That's no easy feat. I mean, they're doing it. They are moving
big.
markets.
That's big.
Big.
22,000 holders is big. This token just started about a week ago, I think. So good stuff on that. I think I may be long. I might be long. Full disclosure, I might be long. Good stuff. So we're going to continue to have some fun with that. You can get it on Raydium, RAYDIUM, Raydium.io. Very easy. Just get some SOL and get it right there. And that is a wonderful DEX. I really like the way the DEXs work, because the thing about a DEX is that as you're buying and selling, that liquidity goes in there. And from what I see on there, it's locked. So pretty interesting stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit more about our main man, Trump. He appears unstoppable. Trump appears unstoppable. No matter what they do to this guy, he appears to me to be absolutely and completely unstoppable. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he's not tired of winning. You know, he said we're going to get tired of it. We're constantly seeing him win. So the guy seems to be unstoppable. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? How are you going to stop this guy? You can't stop this guy. Do you guys think you can stop this guy?
Even when the attorneys aren't pulling through for him, he somehow pulls it off and pulls through for himself.
I'll tell you what, he's something really to watch. He's 80?
Dude,
And,
he's right there, yeah.
You know, I think late 70s, 80, whatever he is. Sharp as a tack. Doing double rallies.
Yeah, full stadiums.
The guy is like a rock star. He can pack a stadium. He doesn't even need a guitar.
No, that's a feat.
That's a feat. He has captured the hearts and minds of people around the world. Some of them hate him, but you know, he still captured their hearts and minds. He's like living in their heads rent free.
Classic.
Good stuff. Well, guys, we're going to do it again in 5 hours. We'll be back on your TV in Texas and Louisiana. We'll also be streaming on all our favorite channels, X and LinkedIn and YouTube. David, thanks so much for joining. Guys, we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Stay tuned and you'll stay lucrative. See you soon.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.